and we were talking about the show. What show were we talking about?
Oh yeah, it was like favorite venues and difference between like big and small.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think like every venue and every show we go to has a different feel. You know, some venues have like cooler green rooms, some have better like food and bars and things. Some just have a better stage and better atmosphere. Some are tiny little hole in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, each one kind of brings its own vibe. And I will say we've been getting used to it more now, but the first couple of times we did it, like trying to go from giant stage where you're in front of like 1,100 people to small stage where you're in front of like, 50 to 100. It's like, okay, how do we make like this show be consistent with this show and still bring the same energy and connect with the crowd?
Yeah, just be as big.
Yeah.
Right.
And still bring that huge performance with everything that we do.
Yeah.
Without trying to hit Leah in the head with our...
Yeah, that's the hardest part with the small stages is that
I can't tell you how many times like
I almost killed Leah at least twice.
Daily.
Yeah.
How many times have you been hit?
Once?
I think once.
It was
and it
me.
was,
It was me.
I think it was on stage too.
I think so.
I've never been on stage.
Yeah, no, and it was like the worst feeling because I was like, oh my God, I have to act like everything's good.
Yeah.
Like, have to smile, like, do everything that I'm supposed to. Like, it was bad.
Yeah.
Wait,
It wasn't hard though.
Mike cable got wrapped around your tuner.
Last show, somehow she lifted her mic cable and it wrapped around my headstock and detuned my 3 low strings on the first song when we were just starting. And I went to play like my individual notes and there's recording of it and you can hear me go and I like move up and that's still not right. I'm like, I'm completely out of tune.
Do you remember I like snuck when I still played guitar? We were like moving across the stage and I like snuck my headstock behind you and like somehow hooked your in-ears and popping both out. I'm like, raw crap. Really?
Yeah. It's funny though, like I feel like people don't like in the audience. I don't think people even notice. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's so much stuff that happens behind the scenes, where we think like, oh, we really messed up or stuff. But like,
well, you have to have a short memory. You have to you have to just keep going.
Yeah. Kind of like let it go,
Yeah.
shake it off, let go.
There's a lot of things when people play live, bands play live, where they know where they messed up, and the audience has no clue.
Yeah.
So
Nobody knows our songs that well.
Yeah.
Not yet.
I don't know. There's quite a few.
Not
I
yet.
will say. Not yet. What about you, Leah? Some other venues that are some of your favorites out there?
I think for me, actually, it's like the festivals that I love, which obviously the venues change with that. But for me, it's just like getting to play in front of like a larger crowd, in front of like, I would say just a lot of people that don't know us, because it's a way to like share our songs with the people who've never heard us before. And I also just love the vibes. Like, it's just fun, like getting to like, because after like, like Taste of Fort Collins, that was a great one. Aurora Borealis Festival and UMS. And then we're actually playing a festival up in Fort Collins, which is FOCO MX coming up too. So
FOCO MX.
FOCO MX.
I think that got announced yesterday?
Yeah, the lineup was yesterday.
That's why it's not on your site yet. All right.
Yeah.
I was looking at that. The Fort Collins Musicians Association and Odell Brewing Company. Okay, very cool. Yeah. Nice. When is that again? 19th? Do you guys know?
19th.
April 19th.
April 19th. Gotcha.
I think it runs 17, 18, 19.
It might just be the weekend.
Is it 17th, 18th?
It might just be 18, 19.
18, 19, 20.
It's 2 days.
I think it's 2 days. It's just that Saturday, Sunday.
We're playing the 19th.
Yeah.
that one I know for sure.
Yeah.
But it's cool because that one is, I think it's like Colorado's largest music festival, at least for local music. There's something like 400 local bands playing. And it's very similar to UMS where like they close all the streets or most of the streets in like downtown. And then it's like every bar, restaurant, venue that can have live music, they have a local band and stuff. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice. That sounds good. You guys, have you been back in the studio doing some studio work lately? Is that your main thing? Big smile right there.
Yeah, we had
that smile.
We just got one of our mixes back last night.
I've listened to it probably 20 times already.
I'm like intentionally not trying to, because I'm like, I don't want to get to the point where like when we release it, I'm like sick of it. So
And when you
sick of it.
When are you releasing it? You
We
know?
don't even have
Great
that one.
question.
Don't even have a date yet.
We've got another one unannounced yet, coming out April 4th, right?
Which they'll hear.
They'll hear.
You're gonna hear it first here in a couple minutes.
First here, heck
Yeah.
yeah. We absolutely love that. So that's the song Self Sabotage.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Mhm.
Yeah, we've
Awesome.
had that one in the books for a little while now.
Yeah.
Very excited to
Yeah.
finally get it out there.
I was really excited. Our VP of Media said, "Hey, they're sending us a new song that we haven't heard." I'm like, "Yes, awesome!" Every time you guys send in a song, and even all the founders, people at K4CO, we're excited because we love every song that you guys
Aw,
send. It's
thank
just
you.
really good energy. It's just really
Yeah.
fun stuff. Just kind of reminds me of like, growing up with that punk scene, and you guys are just really good. So we really appreciate you guys sharing all that music. You guys still recording at what was
Blasting room.
Blasting Room.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice, good spot with the same producer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very
We
cool.
did. Do we say how many we did?
Yeah, it don't matter.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You can spoil it.
Yeah.
That's your favorite thing.
I'll spoil it. We
The
did
guitars.
3 other songs with Colton up at Blasting Room. I think a month ago. I think
Yeah, it's
we
probably
went,
about
we
a
went
month
back into
ago
the
now.
studio. Yeah, it was like we did one day, which was drums.
Mhm.
It's kind of the first
Um,
day we had to segment it just with how the scheduling worked out. Plus
Yeah.
3 songs, it takes a bit more time to do.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
We got 1 drum day,
yeah, and then we had 2.
another weekend
Other
we came back
days,
for
yeah.
everything else.
Nice.
Got to go to a hotel, jacuzzi for a little bit. Yeah,
I did not
right?
hit the jacuzzi. I did not want to wake up.
Just based on timing, we had to do the jacuzzi at like 7 in the morning,
Yeah.
so that was the only time we got.
Yeah, it was like 6.
So some of us jacuzzi, some of us slept.
All right, I'm gonna count down from 3, and when I count down, I want everybody to point at the person that has the most amount of takes in the studio. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, we are
Is it me?
different here.
Okay.
Wait, who are you pointed at? Okay.
That's just because there's like 8
There's
guitar
more
tracks.
parts to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I unfortunately I think with every song, so we double track left and right for each guitar.
Mhm.
And then I have a really bad, I don't know if it's a really bad habit, but I have a bad habit of like for each song I'll put on like 3 or 4 guitars in the track.
Mhm.
Just because like a lot of the time we'll like write the song and then Leah hasn't put down melodies or something like that. And I'll just be like, I'll just throw in another guitar.
Another layer.
And we get to Colton and he's like, I think there's been multiple times he's like, do we need this guitar in here? And it's like,
Yeah.
How many?
Sometimes
how many were on
not.
Self-Sabotage? Was it 8 guitar tracks?
I mean, that's
Um,
part of how I demoed that one too. I just
I
don't
think Self Sabotage has.
this is a lot though. It's a lot of layers.
In the verse alone. I think there's 4 guitars at the same time. So
I mean, I think it makes a difference though.
Oh, I mean,
You know, it
sounds
makes
good.
the
It just
sound
means he
more
has to
full.
do the most takes.
Exactly.
You know?
and then
Plus-
I have to learn how to play the part.
I know. You gotta do that,
before the
dude.
thing, and I'm like, oh, I forgot how to play this, and then I'll like learn and be like, okay, track.
Plus, I say like this time around, I think we were good about like, hey, let's get samples. Hey, let's get a couple other variations that like if we hear things that maybe we weren't certain about during mix time,
Right.
we can be like, hey, Colton, can you sub like that style in or that take in? So that's been nice.
Yeah.
We can kind of move things around in the back end then too.
Yeah.
Well, no, whatever you guys are doing, I mean, it's sounding great because you guys sound just very full, very produced, very well into the studios. Any happy mistakes that have happened in the studio that you kept into the songs? Because those are sometimes some of my favorite stories where it's just, I didn't mean to do that, but it sounds great. Keep it.
I could say one for me, and actually it was the mix that we just got last night. But there's a section in the verse where I'm like taking a breath, but kind of like laughing a little bit.
I love that.
Yeah. And like after that take, I didn't even realize until Colton said, but he's like, oh my God, that was so good. Like it just has so much character.
Mhm.
And like, I didn't even like realize that I did. And he's like, no, we're like putting that in the track. And then like when we listened back, I was like, oh yeah, that sounds good. Is it just like, it's just like that little character that humanizes it, and kind of to what Alex was saying, like plays on the emotion.
Right.
It doesn't just sound like dry. So
Exactly.
that was cool.
I love those.
I have a terrible habit of like yelling or making weird grunts and shit. Yeah, it's bad. So like, I'm sure if you like singled out drums and boosted it, like there's some in there.
There is. I think at the end of Halothane, at the very, very end, and it's really, really quiet, so you have to turn it up really, really loud.
Oh, yeah.
I believe at the very end, it ends and he goes, "That's what she said." It's at the very, very end of Halothane, and it's real quiet, but it's definitely in there.
I'm gonna have to listen to that now.
Yeah,
It's so
in there.
faint.
Yeah,
Like you'd have to like really intentionally.
Yeah, like put it into Logic and
But
like
we put
cut
that
it.
in there on
Yeah.
put that in there on purpose. We're like, make it as like
yeah.
soft as
Colin's like,
possible.
we should leave this in, and we're like, yeah, cool.
Let's do it.
Just make sure they have to turn it up a lot
Yeah.
to do that. Right. Nice. Well, I definitely love the happy accidents right there in the studios where, and on the vocals as well. Yeah, it really adds a character where it's not just a production produced singing. It's more of a style, natural
Yeah,
type.
for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's definitely more. I think just like raw is like the best way I can describe it, and that's like a huge reason also why we went with Colton. Like he brings that. At least for me, he brings that out of me, like that attitude, that style, that character.
Mhm.
So when you're hearing it as a listener, like it's that raw emotional feeling that you can connect with.
Who's the primary music writer and the primary lyric writer? Or is it all collaboration?
I'm like, oh, I don't.
So fingers
yeah.
pointed all over the place. So
Yeah,
really,
I think
when you guys get together, it is a collab.
Yeah, there's definitely songs that's like some of us write more than other. Like it's like, oh, I have this like full chorus idea,
Mhm.
and then it's like we'll all come together and kind of like write out the rest of the song. I think honestly, Halothane was the only one that was like, I have
100%.
I have like
right?
the whole thing, and then Alex and you came in and were like, I
edited like some of it.
I have Andrew drums, which is like ta-ta-ka, ta-ta-ka, ta-ta-ka through basically the whole song. Just because I'm not good at drums. So Alex comes in and, makes them not bad, and he makes them great. But I think everything else, like we've come together and each one of us have basically written.
Yeah, I feel like we do a good
Different
job of
stuff.
like demoing on our own, being
Yeah.
able to kick stuff over digitally. We have a drive, like a big drive bank that we just add stuff
Mhm.
to, and then
Mhm.
we'll put stems in there, and then somebody can download the stems, add layers, kick it back. So we do a lot of that, and then we'll get together occasionally and like, hey, we'll go through that list. What do we like? What do we not like?
Yeah,
and
we
then
have
when
like
it
a
comes time-
chat too
Mhm.
Yeah.
for that. Like it's literally called demo chat or whatever.
Yeah.
And like it's just to like send ideas and stuff. And I think that reminds me too. I think our biggest thing is like literally cranking out like as much music as possible, because like that we realize like that's what makes us better songwriters. Like the more you put out there, like the better, I think, for creativity
Mhm.
and stuff. I think that's
It's
how we've been
definitely
able to
a
be
skill.
better songwriters. Because like, and I think even for me, it's like I'll make something and know like this is probably not ever going to be recorded, but like it's just to like get something out and
Mhm.
just I think it just helps,
Songwriting is
Yeah.
for sure a skill and like a
Yeah.
nerve that needs to be flexed, like a
Yeah.
muscle needs
Yeah,
to be
it
flexed.
is.
for sure.
It is.
Speaking of which, on your website it says capture this. Lyrics capture the highs and lows of youth, rebellion, and the pursuit of self-discovery. And actually, that's pretty good description. Thinking of and listening to your songs.
Yeah. Yeah. I think especially like even the most recent ones, because it really is a progression. Like you have Empty, which is kind of, I guess if you look at it as like a relationship, like, Empty is kind of hitting that shock, like that initial shock from that relationship. And then Halothane Dreams is being like down in the dumps and feeling like rock bottom. And then Other Side is coming out of that darkness and like realizing what's to come, and that the other side is so much better than you thought it'd be. And so it's a lot of that, personal growth, start to finish.
which
For
I
sure.
love. Awesome. And there is a method to that madness. I never really thought about that, where the songs before, middle, after, kind of a transgression right there. Well, last time you were in, our station manager, Kevin, got to interview you. And you guys were in our little room, just kind of
like this, look it up.
Exactly.
Make silly
Pressure's
faces
on
at her.
me.
And I'm so happy that we were able to kind of talk to all of you guys right now, and I was able to do it. And Kevin, our station manager, says hi. So of course he had a blast
Hi, Kevin.
with you guys the last time. Going forward right now, of course, you have the shows coming up. You know, the Fort Collins show. You have the Oscar Blues downtown show that you guys are headlining. What is to come of Capture This for going into the summertime of 2025?
More music.
More music.
More music.
Yeah.
I'd say that's the biggest thing. Yeah, so with recording 3 more songs, we have 3 more songs for you guys. And can I say more than that?
You
I'm
wanna
looking
hit
at
this
you
up?
guys.
Put it on Andrew. No, go take his job.
But yeah, I'll just say this: it will be together as an EP with some other stuff. So
Yeah.
I'll tease that a little bit.
Right.
And I would say probably the other biggest thing is towards the end of the year, we're going to be playing at Mission, because when we won hometown for the holidays, part of that came with playing at Mission Ballroom for the Not So Silent show at the end of the year. So we don't know who we're opening for yet, but we know that'll be a huge show. You know, once we find that out, we'll have more details and
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, I think
Awesome.
that's
Yeah.
about it.
All over streaming platforms, as well as their website, bandcapturethis.com, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon. I mean, all over.
Yeah, pretty much
the
wherever
place,
you can
so.
listen to music is
Line
where we are. Yeah.
This next song is not out yet.
Dun, dun, dun.
When is this one coming out? April 4th. April 4th. And we get to play this on K4CO until it releases.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
I love it.
It's definitely a different vibe.
Yeah.
Kind of wanted to put you on the spot there just so that you would say yes. But
I'll
We all
do
looked at each other with
I'll say
panic in
yes.
our eyes. Like,
I'll say yes, Scott.
It's
It's
no,
my job.
Just this one time.
Everybody gets one.
Everybody gets one, exactly. Self-sabotage. All right. Who's telling me about this one? Who's telling our listeners about self-sabotaging and who's
This-
doing it?
Alex. I
I'll,
think this
I'll
is
speak
Alex.
everything not lyrics.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely on the darker side of the songs we've written. Like you get Halothane Dreams, you get Other Side, more in the pop punk vein.
Mhm.
This one kind of crosses more towards Empty, where it's a little bit heavier, a little bit darker. Just kind of exploring all possibilities of our sound. And I don't know if you want to speak towards the lyric side, but
yeah. So I think for me, when I first hear a song, like the first thing that comes to me is like mood, or like what, and that helps with like songwriting and stuff. So when I heard the, like kind of what you're saying, like the darker sound, I wanted to write something that was like either angry or like angsty or just, you know, emotional, tugging on your heartstrings kind of songs. So, and I started thinking about, okay, what's something that like a lot of people go through in like, not even just relationships, but friendships, you know, what's something that people struggle through. And that's when kind of self-sabotage, it just made sense between like the sound and being something that's like relatable. And personally for me, like, I'm not gonna lie, I was a self-sabotager. So that was a big part of it too. But
I think everybody is to a point.
yeah, I think at a point like you could do it without realizing it. So, and then you kind of talk yourself out of that friendship or relationship and you're like, why did I do that? But anyway, that's kind of where it came from. And yeah, it's a very angsty hard rock kind of song.
very
but
guitar driven.
yeah.
Like
for
we
sure.
said, there's 4 in the verse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, cannot wait to have this in our rotation and play it. And this is my first time hearing it too, which is absolutely awesome. But I know every single song that you guys send in is great. So looking forward to having it. Well, thank you guys very much for being here. It's such a treat. We're going to see you at the show. Headliner show at Oscar Blues. Leah, Alex, Zach, Andrew. It's just a pleasure. It's always been a pleasure. Definitely don't be
thank you.
strangers.
Yeah.
And we'll see you at the show. And those shirts aren't anywhere on your shop, on your website, and everything like that.
Nope.
So
Not yet.
Got to get him at the headliner
Yeah,
first.
I'm at the headliner.
Spoiled it early.
All right. Well, thank you very much for listening in. We're going to end this with Self-Sabotage on Capture This. And then tune in later on today at 1 o'clock. We're going to be sitting down with a performance with Mallory Cordova, Colorado Springs singer and songwriter as well. Thank you very much, Capture This.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
We'll see you all very soon. Here's Self-Sabotage. Take care.
Me too.